I was muted. Amateur move. Hey, everybody. It is Colin. You have tuned in to Talking Ball. Thank you so much for being here, as always. I am still waking up. I am a little bit sleepy, but that's not going to stop us from talking Spurs this morning or afternoon or night, depending on where you happen to be in the world. Just wanted to say, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. We've got some regulars in the house already. We've got a couple, but before, real quick, I just wanted to say that we've recently started a Patreon membership thing for the channel, to where you can become a Patreon member. You can help sponsor the channel, and we've got 2 Patreon members, and they're in the house today: Chris Peters and Wayne Bonner. What is up, you guys? Hey, thank you again for everything that you do to support the channel. You guys are freaking legends. And if you want to become a Patreon member like Chris, like Wayne, definitely just go right here to the link, patreon.com/talkingball, and check it out. There are 3 membership options to choose from. Grab one that works best for you, or none. And that's no problem either. Just make sure to hit the like and hit the subscribe, and we're cooking with gas, guys. Okay, so again, we're gonna go through a little bit of talk with the chat here. Wayne says, "What's up, everyone? I hope you're all good and well. Still looking for the Gooners. Think they're either gone into hiding or become invisible." I'm going with become invisible. I think they are just impossible to see now. Makes the most sense to me, I think. NA Beer Talk. We've got NA Beer Talk in the house, who says morning call. Morning, NA Beer Talk. We've also got Chris Peters, who I was just talking about. What up, Chris? Chris Peters. Hey. Guys, had a small emergency. 1 second. I will be literally back in literally 2 seconds. One moment here. Sorry about that, everybody. I lost the keys, and my wife has to leave for school. So everybody say bye, Beth. Bye. Beth's off to school. Bye, Beth. All right. So everybody, we are back, and was just kind of going through the chat. We have everybody big up in each other. I love the love in the chat. We've got, like I said, NA Beer Talk, Wayne Bonner, Chris Peters. John Fitzpatrick is here all the way from Australia. The Irishman from Australia is in the building. Fitzy, thanks for being here, my man. We've got a special guest, Julie Sievers, my mom. She's at work today, right now. Get back to work, Julie. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for being here. Love having everybody here. Love it, love it, love it. I'll let her know that you said bye. That's awesome. Thank you. Hey, and look, there's even everybody saying hi to my mom. You guys are good people. Everybody's awesome in here. So yeah, I still am kind of basking in the glory of the North London Derby. I know I said yesterday, during yesterday's show, I was done talking about it. I don't know if I'm done talking about it yet. So there's just a couple of things I wanted to throw up here. Not really throw up, obviously, but so I wanted you guys to see these photos. I found them online yesterday, and they are amazing. It is pictures of, yeah, it's Sonny shushing the Arsenal crowd after the shushing the Arsenal crowd after his goal, and it reminded me a lot of this. You guys get any of those vibes whenever you guys saw Sonny do that? The shushing the crowd will always be a favorite of mine, especially because knowing Son, he was probably being abused in some way by their piece of crap crowd. But yeah, guys, we went to the library. They told us we were going to get stomped. We came back with a point. I'm still buzzing. I'm still happy. Like y'all were saying, where's the Gooners now? Where's the Gooners now? Julie says, love this strip, Colin. Who bought that for you? I don't know. I don't remember. I can't remember. Some nice lady though. Some nice lady got this for me. So thanks to her. But yeah, guys, who's buzzing? Who's still buzzing? I'm buzzing. We beat Arsenal, not beat Arsenal, but I feel like we beat Arsenal considering how badly everybody told us we were going to get absolutely stomped by Arsenal. So if you guys saw the thumbnail, which I am sure that you did, we have a lot of debt as a club, and that's something that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about a little bit. But should we be worried? Is that bad? These are all questions that are going to be answered in the second half of the show, because coming up, we've got our normal beginning to the show, Keep or West Ham, the internet's favorite Tottenham game show, where we pit two Tottenham players against each other, and we find out who you would pick if you could only keep one. Everybody, if you're ready, we are about to begin. Everyone, you are watching Keeper West Ham with me, your host, Colin. Good to be here as always, guys. Long time no see. So we are just going to hop into this game. We're not really going to do a whole lot of build up. I thought this first one was hilarious and maybe not too tough for everybody. We'll start off with a nice little easy one. Hey, thank you for the love, Beer Talk. Thank you for the love. So yeah, this is an easy one. Maybe we'll get everybody started off. We've got Eric Dyer versus the new defender kid who's 16 years old that I don't know anything about. Everyone says they do not want to see Dyer play ever again. They don't want to see him in a Spurs shirt. So what do you think? We put the 16-year-old kid out instead? Who would you choose? One to stay, one to go to West Ham? My answer might be a bit controversial, but we will see. We will see. Let me know what you think. Julie says keep the new kid. Dyer's off the boil. You got all the Britishisms coming out today. I like it. Fitting in well. That's one vote. That's a layup. Send Dyer to wet spam. Yeah, I figured that might be that might be the answer around here. Keep the 16-year-old. Bye, Dyer. And hey, Beer Talk's got it figured out. My vote is actually to keep Dyer and let this kid grow up. Let him become an adult. Come back. I still think that Dyer is better than a child. I know that's going to be controversial, but still, I think that Dyer is more helping the team right now. But yeah, this kid's going to be leaps and bounds better. I mean, he's already almost comparable, you think, to Dyer at 16 years old. Dyer was a good servant, but he's over the hill now. You ain't wrong, lady. John Fitzpatrick says keep Dyer. LOL. Yeah, I know. Whatever. But NA Beer Talk gets me. He says that's a fair take, and I appreciate that. Yeah, man and boy, exactly what I was trying to get across. So perfect. Oh my God, Mark Cousins in the house. Mark, big up, my man. Good to see you. Big up call. Keep Dyer. No, not really. West Ham's not far enough away for him to go. Funny. You guys got jokes today, and I love it. Everybody's feeling a little froggy, even me at 9:30 in the morning. So, just getting pepped up, and I thought a nice, funny, easy one would be good, but I'm going against the grain. I'm keeping Eric Dyer. We're sending the new kid out, just like normal plan. Beer Talk just ready to free up Dyer's salary. Yeah, that's a good point. What is he on? I don't know if he's on over $100,000. It feels like he's probably on over $100,000. Let me know if you know. So that's that. Everybody in the chat chooses the new chap whose name I have a hard time with. He is currently playing for a team I have a hard time pronouncing, but we're going to have him in the end of the season, I think. But yeah, he'll be here soon. We'll see him. We'll get to evaluate him. So let's move on to our second choice today. Steven Pienaar versus Trapped. I butchered that guy's name, but somebody help me there. So this is real quick. This is just for Dyer salary. Ready to free up Dyer salary. It is 82 K a week. So just slightly under that 100 that I was thinking about, but still he's far too much. Yeah, you're right. Let's get that out and let's get some youngins in and pay him part of that. We've already got a disagreement here, and I love it. Fitzy says, can someone tell me how to pronounce that name? Just like spell it phonetically. But keep Terabet, says Fitzy. And then Wayne Bonner instantly says, keep Pienaar. Love it. Steven Pienaar had a rough time at Spurs, especially like leaving Spurs. I know that he had to basically beg us to let him go from what I know and remember. And then he went from us to Everton. Is that where he is that? Yeah, something to that effect. And then the bloke on the right, whose name I can't pronounce, he was just one of those guys that never worked out for him. Cool. Well, it never worked out for him at Spurs. And Chris Peters threw me a bone too, said it's pronounced Terapt. Awesome. Well, Terapt. Okay, cool. Well, I've got it now. Thank you guys. Back to who you would keep. They both were, attacking midfielders. Slightly different style of play between the two of them. But it's tough for me. Steven Pienaar is the one that I've seen much more of. I know that he wasn't exactly the most exciting signing when we brought him in. People weren't super duper like pumped about it or anything. But I still think Pienaar is solid. Let's keep let's keep Pienaar. Chris Peters agrees. Keep Pienaar. Two donkeys, says Fitzpatrick. I know that's the plan. I can't always pick great players. So sometimes the two donkeys and the question will be who is the bigger donkey. And so that's what's so hard about it, Fitzy. NA Beer Talk. T-Rabbit. Hell, I don't know. Love it. We're calling him T-Rabbit from now on. So it is Pienaar versus T-Rabbit. I'm picking Steven Pienaar, but that's only because I know more about the guy. If anyone knows anything about T-Rabbit and why it didn't work out for him at Spurs, what was the full deal there? I know that there's more to the story than I think that I'm aware of. But I know that it didn't work out for him. I know that he ended up leaving the club. Obviously, he ended up leaving the club, but I think that he was successful when he left. It's just one of those sort of like Dos Santos and KPB that just don't work out here. Maybe it's London. Maybe it's the London lifestyle. Distractions. Hell, who knows? But it didn't work out for him here. I think Pienaar had a more successful stint here, even though successful isn't exactly how I would describe him. We're keeping Steven Pienaar, everybody. I'm sure you were worried. We are keeping Steven Pienaar. Think T-Rabbit had an attitude. That makes sense. There's some players that come to Spurs that just think they're bigger deals than Spurs. Ego got in the way. Thank you. Yeah, I knew that he went on to become at least semi-successful at other clubs. So I wondered what the deal was. Ego and attitude. Bummer. That could destroy the greatest of players. We've seen it happen many times. I'm calling him T-Rabbit forever now, Wayne. Love it. Okay, so we are 2/3 of the way through a very quick run through of Keeper West Ham today. Thank you guys again so much for being here. We've got 6 people in the chat. Big up. Smash the like, guys, if you haven't. It just helps. I appreciate it. Hate being that guy. I feel like a freaking nerd. Hit the likes, get the subscribes in, but for real, it does help. And the more of you guys that are here, it's just more fun. So I appreciate it. The likes, the subscribes, and all that brings in more people. So thank you. So back to the game. Sorry for the brief intermission. Let's get to our final one here. These are both players that we have already used before, but not together. We've got Eric Lamela and Clint Dempsey, who is not in a Tottenham kit in this photo, but I was in a hurry, grabbed the one that I could. So who are you keeping, guys? This beautiful picture, well lit, of Lamella, or this 2-pixel picture of Clint Dempsey here? For me, it's tough. They both were similarly good for the club. Scored important goals, but didn't always do a lot. I mean, Dempsey especially went missing, in matches, but he would pop up and score a goal. We also played him at a weird time where we had Schmigerdson. I don't even want to say his name. And we tried to get them both on the pitch at the same time a lot, which forced one of them to the wing. And if you look at those guys and the way they play, you can guess that Schmilfy and Deuce here, Clint, were not very effective on the wing. I thought that was Aaron Lennon. Yeah, I told you, no, not very many pixels, Mark. Sorry. Love it. But yeah, so we have whoa, Adrian Stroker's in the house. Just wanted to say, hey there. Back to the question at hand here. We've got Fitzy saying, sell the Yank, laughing, crying face. Wow, is it that funny? Are we that funny to you, John? We are people too, okay? Chris Peters says, Lamella, is that keep Lamella? Send Lamella? I think it's keep Lamella. NA Beer Talk says, don't do this to me. I did it, bub. Chris Peters says keep. Oh, keep Lamella. Okay, I thought you just okay. Keep Lamella for Chris. Bonner says keep Dempsey. And yeah, this is one that I thought would be tough, especially for old moms here. She says, damn, Colin, I adore Coco, but I think I have to keep Clint Dempsey. Wow, dang. I'd never wish an American to wet span. Good on you. Very rude to do. It would be a very rude thing. So if Coco had not had the terrible injuries, can you imagine his career? Yeah. He came in and was a totally different player than what we were expecting to get. I think everyone, myself included, was expecting like a Bale regen, that would come in and would fly down the wing and then cut in and have shots. When it turns out he was more of like a tricky attacking midfielder. I don't know. Interesting. I love Lamella, though, as much as the next guy, and more than I love Deuce. To me, it's keep Lamella. I mean, scored a freaking Rabona in the North London Derby and then got a red card. What a legend. Bye-bye, Deuce. Yeah. What's up, Leo? Hey, thanks for being here, my man. Leo says bye-bye, Deuce. He is getting rid of Clint Dempsey. And Fitzy says that he'd actually just sell both. Mom saying she loves the Lamella Dead Shark Eyes. Me too. And Chris Peters saying Lamella played for the badge. Agreed 100%. And I don't know that Dempsey did. To be honest. But yeah, dude. So we've got Fitzy, big up in the supporters club that Leo's got. Boom, boom. Glad everybody is showing each other some love. So I think that's the end for today, guys. I think the consensus is pretty split on this one, but I'm keeping Lamella. Real quick, one last time, let me know who you're keeping. We'll go through the answers that are already here. Fitzy sells both. Bye-bye, Deuce, says Leo. Keep Dempsey, says Wayne Bonner. And NA Beer Talk, I guess that he's sending Lamella to West Ham because he said he could never send an American there. So that I think concludes the game. I think great job, everybody. Nice work today. We did a good job. We killed it. Yeah, I'm really proud of all of you guys. We played a great game. We did it. We kept the fighting to a minimum. It was good. It was good stuff. So we'll jump here, and the whole like topic of this show was all predicated by like a graphic that I saw when I was perusing Reddit. So I'll bring that up real quick just to show everybody what I'm kind of talking about here. I'm take off the shades maybe. Okay, so this is, let me get that stupid banner out of the way. So this is talking about total financial debt as of 30th June 2020, which is years ago. But it is showing Tottenham as having more debt than any other club. yes, this is 2021 or 2020 numbers. COVID was about to start playing a role in this. We see that we were at the time, though, ahead of so many clubs that you wouldn't have expected us to be. Barcelona, who are having financial problems of their own, Juventus, Real Madrid. It's kind of wild when you think about the debt that we have incurred as a team, and under Daniel Levy. What happened to Tottenham? Wow, we're here. We're talking Tottenham. But yeah, I think. Oh, do you mean with the improvements? Okay, sorry. I thought that was like a bad thing. No, Tottenham look amazing, and it's without Harry Kane. I'm not sure how we're doing it, but big up to you. Thank you for being here. It is really, really nice to have you. Big up. Hope you're having a great day, and the sun is shining where you're at. Thank you again for being here. We love having you. You're always welcome. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of show this graphic, and it had some people on Reddit where I found it a little worried. There was some talk of this guy here and how our club isn't being run right, but that is absolutely bonkers to me that anybody could say that or think that right now. Just wanted to kind of throw out there just a little bit of info on this. This stadium, this beautiful bitch right here that Daniel Levy built with his own two goddamn hands, is the reason, obviously, why that debt was so high. The great thing is that we got those loans. Yes, it is. Yes. But yeah, it's a mortgage on the stadium. Not a big deal. John, that is exactly what I was getting to. Chris Peters, you got it too. NA Beer Talk, you're on it as well. I couldn't find a more recent more recent graphic since I saw this one. So this is the one I'm using, the 2021. But yeah, well, you'll notice we got these loans to finance the stadium right before COVID hit. So I mean, interest rates were still at the very, very low rates that they were pre-COVID. So we got to take advantage of that. And then plus, having this man, the man that everybody dislikes, can't win for losing at Tottenham, because of him and because of the group that he leads and because of their credit, we were able to get those loans for like next to nothing in the way of interest. Something that I found out today, which really made me happy. The interest is so low and these payments are so low over a 25-year period of time that not only are they easy to pay for, but we should be able to pay for those completely out of events at the stadium. That I'm not talking matches here. I'm talking Beyonce, everyone hates, American football that everyone hates. That alone should pay our payments that we owe, and get us paid off. Yes, the payments are 25 million a year. That sounds correct. Please confirm that if you know somebody. But blimey, the glasses are off. I've just noticed. I know I couldn't read. Hold on, they're back. Don't worry, Chris. But yeah. So now I'm not sure if the payments are 25 million a year or if it's a 25 million, or if it's a 25-year loan. I think maybe both. I know for a fact it's a 25-year loan. NA Beer Talk saying, I wonder what it is now. I bet it's less than half what it was in 2020. You really think so? Because I think that in 2020 it got a lot worse, right? Like, that's, we had to borrow more money for COVID. We had to, we took out that loan, especially for COVID, that was offered to us. I'm not sure. NA Beer Talk, if the numbers will be better now or not. Mark Cousin says, I hope Levy never built it. Hollow walls, every corner cut, and it'll fall down soon. Love it. No, and I'm not saying like that he's wonderful, but I'm just saying that it's because of him and because of his group that we were able to get the loan at such a good rate. And I'm happy about that. Obviously, I think everybody here should be. It's allowing us to we all saw the hindrance that building the library, the Emirates put onto Arsenal. And I think Levy did a good job of making sure that we would be in a position to where that wouldn't happen to us. And as much as we all love to shit on the guy, and he deserves to be shit on, this is one thing I think that they got right. And A Beer Talk saying, yeah, COVID loans, but they also didn't have any NFL and concert money. For all his faults, Levy is good with money. He is, and we are lucky to have, somebody that is. I actually have some more banners here. We obviously Levy got the club from Alan Sugar, who did his best, to get things back on track after Irving Scholar totally just like trashed the club financially. So good on them both, really. I mean, honestly, I know that there are some like less than positive things about this man here, but he did a good thing in taking the club from Irving Scholar, trying to help build us up. And, without his efforts and without Levy's efforts, the club wouldn't be where it is today. We might be in a very dark place. So, just want to throw that out there. I really, the thumbnail was a bit of a clickbait. I don't have that much to talk about in the way of this, but I just wanted one of you guys to come see me, A, and I wanted B to just anytime I get the chance to say that Levy's not the monster that everybody thinks he is, I like to do that. He appointed Ange Postecoglou. There was all this talk about who was first or second choice. Honestly, we don't know at the end of the day, right? There are constantly smoke screens being put out into the media. It doesn't always benefit us to have, our first or second or third choice, just out there in the open. And so we could have been doing some misdirection. I mean, it could have been plenty of things. And heck, maybe he is third choice, but it's a wonderful appointment by Daniel Levy. And so I think he deserves a little bit of credit there as well. Yes, Mark Cousins, exactly. Without Sugar, we wouldn't have a club. Simple as. So, yeah, 100%, Mark. 100%. And glad that he, picked us up whenever we were in a lot of trouble and used a lot of his own money to get us back on track. Sugar was more than Levy. He never spent money. He spent some of his own money, if I'm not mistaken. So I did some light reading last night. Maybe I'm incorrect. I do know too that whenever things were kind of looking bad at Spurs, Rupert Murdoch, I believe he's friends with. No, it wasn't Rupert Murdoch. I'm so sorry. It was Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, surprisingly enough. Anyway, a media mogul in over there in England that he's apparently pals with. I don't think he is a monster, but he needs to stay out of certain areas of the club. And A Beer Talk couldn't agree more. Yeah, he's good at one, aspect of things, the financial side. When it comes to the footballing side of things, whether that's bringing players in or choosing what players to bring in, just stay out, bud. You can be involved in negotiations, Levy. I think that's fine to say he's okay at that. But maybe some of you guys would disagree. Maybe you don't want Daniel Levy taking part in the negotiations either. That's a good question. I'll pose that to you guys. We want Levy to stay out of the footballing side of things, but do you still want Levy taking part in the negotiations? How do you feel about that? And I'm just interested to see how you guys feel. This is like my one time that I get to talk to fellow Spurs fans. So not a whole lot of them in Evansville, Indiana, but I'm working on that, everybody. I'm working on converting some people over to our church, the Church of Heung-Min Son. So Levy, you had one job. Yeah. And that's going to be on the financial side of things, obviously. And on that note, I don't think I mind him, in the negotiations for players. I know that let me walk that back. He definitely is a hindrance at times, refusing to spend little bits of money when we could get deals over the line, telling a team, hey, this is our bid. And then when it comes time, he's like, oh, actually, did I say 18? I meant 16. Things like that are well documented with Levy. So maybe stay out of negotiations. But if Levy takes no part in the negotiations, does it all fall onto like that Scott Munn gentleman? I don't know. Educate me a bit if you guys could. I still see there's 8 people in the chat. That is wonderful. Thank you guys again for being here, for spending your day with me. Call on Talking Ball. I'm bald. No, sorry. Enough rhyming. Sound like Dr. Seuss. But you guys, Levy negotiating, how do you feel? Do you want Levy out of negotiations? Like I said, we've seen him. João Moutinho comes to mind. One we were haggling over just a little bit of money, lost him. AVB didn't get the player that he wanted for the middle of the park, and it was an issue, a big issue. Beer Talk says, I am for whomever will bring the club success, and these last 4 to 5 years have seriously made me dislike him. 100%. Yeah, 100%. As far this is about the negotiations. Mark Cousin says, no, definitely not. Remember when Man U were in for Berbatov? Levy screwed them for every penny and left us no time to get a replacement. Absolutely. Good point there as well. Very good point. What's the point in getting the money if it's not going to be reinvested into the club? 100%. And Fitzy says, I'd have Levy collecting the tickets at the Beyonce concerts. He'd do a good job at that. I can see him with like a vest and tearing the tickets, and I think he would do well. I guess in my mind, it's the year like 1999 because he's tearing tickets and not scanning them with a little beep, thing. But yeah, I could definitely see Levy as a ticket collector. He's just got that look about him. And without all the suits and money and fanciness, he's just some bald guy. So, okay. Enough of that, you guys. We got a match coming up. A big match. A big match. Maybe our toughest match of the season coming up this weekend. And real quick, there's one more thing. Levy would make a great Oompa Loompa. Solid Oompa Loompa, I think. He's a tiny bit too tall, Mr. Beer Talk. Tiny bit too tall. But no, he would be good at that too. He would. Let's get some paint. Let's paint him up. See what we can do. Guys, though, match this weekend. We're playing some poopy team, liver poop or something like that. But we're playing them. It might be, in my opinion, our toughest task of the season thus far. Real quick, I'm going to ask you guys before we close out. So I'm trying to keep these around 30 minutes. Sorry again for clickbaiting you in here, but I'm really glad that you came. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. But yeah, just real quick, what do you think? What are your guesses as to what the result will be? Scores. Also, yeah, if you could just throw that in the chat. I'll go first. I think that we are going to get our first loss of the season, maybe 2-1. Liverpool have shown that they are a resilient team, as we have shown that we are this season as well. But they always seem to have our number, especially these past couple of years. Yeah. Hey, no reason to be sorry, Beer Talk. I'm in the same boat as you. I think we'll lose this weekend also. Udoggy versus Salah and Son versus Virgil will be key matchups. 100%. I think Udoggy's the real deal. I think Udoggy's got Salah all wrapped up. I don't think that'll be a problem. I think Salah is declining as a player, and I think Udoggy is rapidly advancing as a player. And so I think that I don't think that matchup will be a huge problem for us. And then obviously Son versus Virgil. I think that, what? The more I keep thinking about this NA Beer Talk, maybe we do have a chance of winning, because I think that Sonny's going to tear Virgil a new asshole, because Virgil is not quick on his feet. He's far from a twinkle toes type. And so, yeah, I am not sure that he'll be able to keep up with Son. Wayne Bonner agrees too. He says 3-1 or 3-2 to the Spurs, the mighty Spurs. Ballin', dude. I love your optimism, and I'm going to try to take that in. Their attack is frightening, but their defense we can get at. Yeah, definitely. I guess that leads me to another question. I keep wanting to end it, but I keep thinking of things I want to talk to you guys about. So who do we start? Based on last weekend and I guess who's fit. I forgot that there's fitness concerns here. Salah is better than Saka. Yeah, no worries. No one's disagreeing with you there, mate. I just think he's got him. They're better at each other, better than each other at certain aspects of the game. But I think that I don't know. I don't think Salah is going to be quite as pacey. I know he's pacey. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll be eating my words, but yes, Mark is right. We can get at their defense. But who do we start? If Brennan Johnson is available, do you guys throw Brennan Johnson in? If he's not hurt, if he's good, if he's had, the week to rest, would you play Brennan Johnson? Would you put him back? Did he impress you enough that he gets the nod versus Liverpool, or do we go with more experienced guys versus Liverpool, like maybe Kulu on the right, Sonny in the middle, and then on the left, Solomon or Richie? Does that strike your fancy? Anybody? I don't know. I thought Brennan did a great job, but if his injury is anything at all, let's keep him out. Let's let him heal, of course. 2-1 win, Son and Mads. Well, that brings up a good question, Chris Peters. Is Madison going to play? His knee moved disgustingly. I don't know if the club has come out and said that he's had a scan yet or not. Let me pull up Reddit real quick. Let me see. Oh, also, just wanted to throw up a couple more things from today that I saw this morning. These are coming off, everybody. Don't judge me. Okay, so just a couple things about our Spurs here that make me excited about the weekend. In Premier League history, we have won the most points from losing positions. So even if we get scored on, even if we get scored on, we are okay. We can come back. We've shown that this season already. So that is something this morning I saw and I loved. It kind of surprised me a bit. Were you guys surprised, or does this surprise y'all at all? It definitely surprised me just a bit. But yeah, Chris Peters though, 2-1 win, Son and Mads. If Madison can't play, you guys, here's an even better question, and I'm going to put it on a banner. If Madison is hurt, who do you put in his place? And for me, that's almost impossible to answer because there isn't a real good replacement in the team. So I'll throw that question up there. I'll leave this banner up here too because it's a beautiful thing. But if Matters is hurt, who do we start in his place? I'm not going for very much longer at all, but if anybody wants to come say hi, I would love to see your faces. There is the linky, everybody. It is now in the chat. But if Matters is hurt, who do you start in his place? It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. I almost think that you've got it. Yep, exactly what NA Beer Talk is saying. You've got to move Kulu to the 10 and start BJ on the right with Son and Manor. Yeah, I think that's the move. I think his ability to hold the ball and shake a defender is going to be crucial in the middle of the park, especially obviously if Madison can't be there. If back from injury, Wayne would say Hill, but Kulu from him as well. Solomon has a backup choice. Yeah, I mean, solid options there. Kulu and Solomon both definitely don't have the passing range that Madison has. So if one of those two played, we would have to change things up a bit. And in what we did, I think we would have to rely more on Basuma playing some nice through balls. Obviously, yes, Chris Peters agreeing with Mr. NA Beer Talk, 100%. Non-alcoholic beer talk agreed as well. Chris Peters knows a good answer when he sees one. But yeah, you guys, do you trust Kulu's range of passing? That's my question. I don't. I know, but I mean, he's got a crisp short pass on him, so he'd be fine there. But I don't think he's putting through these perfect through balls that we've seen Madison play. And I think we might rely more on Basuma for things like that if Kulu does have to step into the middle. Another interesting option is to play Basuma as the 10 and to start Højbjerg next to Sar. I know that isn't ideal, but I do think that Basuma is creative enough to play as the 10, and he might have a passing range that's closer to Madison's. Non-alcoholic beer talk says that he is with Wayne too. If Hill is healthy, play him over Solomon. Dang. Okay. You mean if Hill is healthy, play him in the middle over Solomon, not on the left. I think I'm with you. And Chris Peters is saying, wait, you'd play Hill. Uh, but yeah, I agreed. I just think that maybe, yeah. And if you're talking agreeing, I'd love to see what Biss could do with the 10. Same. I think he would be awesome there. He's one of those midfield players that I think could play 6, 8, or a 10. He's just got the tools. Um, it would be exciting. I don't know if this weekend will be the time that we'll see it, but I do think we might see that at some point, especially if injuries continue. And speaking of Basuma, this is the last thing I want to show you guys before we kind of wrap it up today. Is this real? I have no idea. Let me get this banner out of our faces here. But it says Yves Basuma has decided to take legal action against Antonio Conte. His lawyers filed a lawsuit requesting compensation for professional and image damages as a result of keeping him out of the squad for no good reason. It's that last sentence, keeping him out of the squad for no good reason. That makes me think this is likely not true. But what do you guys think? Is there any precedent for this at all? Oh my God, we've got somebody in the back room. I've been waiting for this man. Jose from El Tel Cockerel. Sorry, you're kind of covered up, my friend. Let me move this screenshot.
I'm fine. Hi, Cole. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. You doing all right?
Yes, I saw your message and I responded back. You didn't respond, and then I read up and I realized, oh, he's gone live already.
Sorry about that. Yep.
That's okay.
I sent it with not much time before the show, but yeah, we've been talking about a lot of things today, Jose. I'll give you a quick run through.
Okay.
So we've got this, which is a beautiful picture of Sonny shushing the crowd at the library the other day, and I thought it kind of reminded me of this, so I thought that was a little bit, a little beautiful. So I wanted to post that. We played some Keeper West Ham, and this was a quick one.
Okay.
So Eric Dyer or the new kid?
The new kid.
Okay. Steven Pienaar or we've been calling him
Adel Tarat.
Yeah, yep. So which of those two are you going to keep?
Adel.
Okay. That's kind of goes against the grain with what people were saying. I love those. And then finally, Eric Lamela or Clint Dempsey.
Who am I keeping? I'm keeping Eric Lamela all day long.
Yes. Boom. That's what I chose as well. Even though I'm American, there's no American bias here. So, okay. And then we were talking again about how, now we talked a little bit about Daniel Levy and a little bit about, the debt that the club has. I pulled up this really old graphic here, and this is 2020. I mean, this is old, but showing that in club football, it looks like Spurs have the highest debt out of all teams. And I know that's not much different now. And then I basically was fear mongering and trying to get people in here with that. We all know that the debt is, spread out over a long period of time, that our interest rates are great. We secured those loans, or at least most of them, right before COVID. And so, we got those beautiful pre-COVID interest rates that you don't see anymore. So we're lucky there. And from the way I understand it, and Jose, I hope that maybe you have some knowledge on this as well. I think the events that we do at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, like the Beyonce concerts and the American football matches, I think those pay our loan payments like by themselves. I think that covers it. Have you heard that?
Well, I know there was a refinancing done during COVID, but I think, and I'm not party to it, but I think that a lot of refinancing goes on with Daniel Levy and the board, and they keep in contact with the banks on a regular basis, and they do their best to get the best interest rates to make sure that it's we pay over the we don't pay over the odds. It's going to take us a few years to pay it off, but it also then means that we can spread money and use money elsewhere rather than just on the debts that we owe. I'd like to think that the money that we make from extracurricular activities does go back into the club in some way, shape, or form. And whether that's, firstly, yeah, okay, paying the debt off and that, but I'd like to see that we do use the money for other things as well.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Okay, and I, you've seen the thumbnail. I'm sure I made this just to kind of try to rile people up and get the Levy haters in here, because I definitely don't hate Daniel Levy. I think that he's built us something beautiful, and I think he's set us up to be sustainable for a long time. Do I think he's the best possible person for the role? No. Do I think he should stay out of football stuff? Yes. But am I happy with the way he's got our club running? Yes. And then we also showed some love for Alan Sugar. Saved our club, as somebody, I forget who it was, I think Wayne Bonner maybe in the chat rightfully pointed out that without him there wouldn't really be a Tottenham Hotspur. So thanks Alan. But yeah, Irving Scholar kind of f things up a little bit. But yeah, so Jose, my man, Liverpool this weekend.
Yeah.
Right. I at first predicted that I think it's going to be our first loss of the season, 2-1. But then some people in the chat got me a little more hyped up, and they were trying to tell me, this one especially, this comment made me think, maybe we can do it. Don't look at the beginning part there where he says we're going to lose. But then he says Udogie versus Salah and Son versus Virgil van Dijk will be key matchups. I think those are matchups we're going to win. I think that Udogie's got the tools and and the head on him to pocket Salah. I mean, he showed that he was great against Saka. We know, they're going to probably similarly target him and try to rile him up and maybe get him an early yellow card. But I think he's learned from that. I don't know. So first of all, I guess, what do you think the final score is going to end up being in that match?
What do I think the final score is going to be?
Do you think we get the win, or do you think it's going to be our first loss of the season?
I'm going to say we get the win.
Okay.
But what I will also say is that I did say before the start of the season, we're in for a ride. I wasn't the pessimistic doom and gloom merchant that other people were saying, we're going to win some games, but we're going to get battered by teams as well. I never had that notion that we'd get battered by teams. We might lose a game, but we won't get battered. The only way we get battered is we get players sent off in the match. That's the only way we're going to get battered. Otherwise, I don't see us getting bad. I look at Liverpool. Liverpool have a world-class goalkeeper. I then look at their back four. Virgil has not been the same player since his injury for the last 2 seasons. His partner in crime, whether it be Joe Gomez, Matip, or Konate, because they've got injuries, I think that they're easily got at. They've got no Alexander-Arnold, and he's not the biggest defender in the world, or the best defender in the world, but they lose something by not having him in the team. And the left back, Robertson, well, it's going to be him versus Kulusevski. So I have no fears there. Liverpool's midfield they've bought a brand new midfield. I can't remember who the third midfielder is. But they're going to play probably McAllister and Solobzai.
I'm never going to be able to pronounce that one. That's tough. That's a tough name to pronounce.
Don't know who the third midfielder is going to be, but do I see Sarr and Bissouma doing a number? Yeah, I do. I think Bissouma can ruin any midfield. If he's on his A game, he can ruin any midfield. So I think that Liverpool's midfield are starting. Well, they're getting to know each other and stuff like that. So they're still in their infancy.
Is Jones the third midfielder there?
But he's not. But they bought a third. They bought another midfielder, third midfielder. That guy Endo to play number 6. They bought him from the German club, the Japanese guy. Endo.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about now. He looks quality.
But they've not played together, so he's trying to figure out his midfield. But it's obviously Slobozai and McAllister will start for them unless they're injured. They'll start. They'll find a third player to man in that midfield, and then up front. Yeah, Salah's a constant. He'll be there playing on the right hand side. But then they're not settled yet. So who the other two will be, I don't know. Now, do I have any fears of that? Not really. Salah up against the doggy and Van de Ven for cover. got more than enough there, I think. I think what will play a part this weekend will be the fans. The fans at the stadium will play a part. I think the more and more they come on board with what we're doing, or what Ange's doing, and what the team are doing, the more vocal we need to get. Because let's have it straight. Since we left White Hart Lane, the atmosphere at White Hart Lane the last season and every other season, absolutely electric. Now we've got a stadium that holds 25 to 30,000 more people. I know that they built a stadium in the sense that they wanted to keep the acoustics in and stuff like that, but we're not the best support at home for cheering the boys on. But with what Postecoglou's doing at the moment, I think that the crowd have a major part to play. If they get behind the team, they will definitely become what Liverpool have at Anfield. Definitely become the 12th man for us, and that could go a long way into us achieving our results Saturday.
Said it beautifully, my friend. You said it beautifully. And speaking of beautiful, we have a beautiful person in the back room. Let's bring him right in. Adrian, my man.
All right, how are we doing this afternoon? I've been busy today. I might have come on earlier. How are we doing?
Oh, no.
Right?
Good afternoon, Adrian. How are you, mate?
How are you? I haven't seen. What have you been doing lately? I haven't seen you about.
Busy.
He's been working.
Busy with work. Really busy with work.
That's fair enough. Mate. Fair enough argument, mate.
Yep. But hey, Adrian. So we've been talking about a lot of things. You might have been listening, but right now we're talking about the match against Liverpool. So, quick question, and yes, real quick. NA Beer Talk. Yes, next time you are welcome. I'll throw the link up. You're welcome anytime, my man. And yes, this did escalate quickly. First starts with Jose, and then Adrian follows him in. Thanks for being here, man. I really do appreciate it, Adrian, and you too, Jose. But yeah, Adrian, we're talking Liverpool. Do you fear them? Do you think that might be our first loss of the season coming up?
I think it'd be similar to the Man United game at home. They've got a good front three. Their midfield's been strengthened, isn't there? Good down. I think our midfield's better. I think their front three, because we haven't fired on all cylinders at the front, we might question our front three. But defensively, I think we're better than them, and I believe we can get at their defence. I mean, I don't know who's going to play in our back four, but who they'll pick. But they're not.
So Adrian, I said, I don't know if you heard my comments, but no, I said Virgil van Dijk, since his injury, has not been the same player for the last 2 years, and therefore their centre backs can be got at, and regardless who they play, whether it's Matip, Konate, or Gomez, because they keep alternating because they've got injuries, they keep alternating the centre half. Then they've lost Terence Alexander-Arnold, although he's not a great defender. They've lost him, and Liverpool are missing something by not having him. And then you're going to have Kulusevski up against Robertson. In midfield, you're quite right. They've bought new midfielders, and I just said I don't think they've played their 3 new midfielders in the same midfield yet. I think Slobozai will start, and so will McAllister if they're fit. But who the third midfielder is, you can toss a coin. It might be Harvey Elliott. It could be Curtis Jones. It could be Endo, who they bought from Germany. And as for their front three, the only person you definitely is going to be playing, it'll be, if he's injury free, will be Salah, because the other two positions are up for grabs because they're rotating between Nunez, Diaz, Jota. They're rotating. They haven't got Tottenham. We know our 11. Yeah.
Has Nunez got many? I haven't followed Liverpool much, but they must be playing well because they're up with us on the same. They're above us. Has Nunez?
2.
He's been coming on late though, and scoring goals. That's his thing.
He scored 2 late goals in a 2-1 victory they had a couple of weeks ago, and then he scored 1 at the weekend. But he's been sub. He started the Saturday, but he's been sub for near enough all their games.
Because last season, when I did see a bit of Liverpool, and to be fair, when I see Premier League teams, I only see them when they play us, unless I see highlights or something. You know, I mean. You're not like you're watching them for a full season campaign to judge players, because sometimes you'll watch a game, you think a player's good, and then you never see them again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In their team, like, you know, it happens like that. So to be honest, what I see of Nunes I thought he needed to improve his finishing. I thought he missed a lot of chances. When I've seen him last year, I see him miss chances in a few games. I don't know how many goals he finished up with last year at all. I couldn't tell you.
Me neither, but I know that he was very much adjusting to the league last season. You could see it in his
he
game.
may really come on strong this year. You know,
he's fairly young from what I remember. Like surprisingly young, younger than he looks. Early 20s. But he's looked good to me, Adrian, this season. To the little bit of Liverpool that I've seen, he looks scary. Real quick, I just wanted to throw this comment up there because it is from a person that I don't see in the chat very often. They say if there's no Eric Dyer on the pitch, Tottenham could win. Well, luckily we haven't been seeing him, so that is a good thing. Hopefully Son and Richie can make 2 goals magically. Well, we already know that our Sonny can magically make goals. So fingers crossed for that. I wouldn't hold my breath on Richie unless there's somebody putting a perfect crossover to him. But Sonny, I think can help us get over the line this weekend. Big up again. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining. And I'm sorry that I don't know how to pronounce your name. I just don't want to be wrong. So anyway, guys, and agreed 100%. No Eric Dyer this weekend. We cannot have Eric Dyer this weekend. So Adrian was saying though, Jose, that he didn't remember last season Nunez being terribly effective. I said I think he was just getting used to the league, and I think he was just kind of settling in.
I still think the same applies at the moment because he's not playing. He's not starting. He's, as I said, he started Saturday. I think the same applies at the moment. I don't think Klopp actually knows his best 11, although in reference to Klopp, I would say that he's got a lot of players to choose from, but he doesn't know his best 11.
I don't see him. I thought, when we played Man United at home and they had the pace of Rashford and the Dutch guy, Anthony. They got more. Salah's got pace, but how quick is? I haven't seen a lot of Diaz. How quick is he? Because
he's fairly quick, not as quick as Salah, but the thing is, he's very tricky. Diaz, he's very tricky with the ball. Diaz is not Salah. Diaz is, for want of a better word, he's an out-and-out winger.
I'll have to take back what I said earlier. I think it'd be very similar to the Man United game, but from here at this moment in time, I don't think Liverpool's front three on the width side then will give us any more problems than Man United did. Man United could have scored two headers, and prior to that, Vicario, who's been absolutely brilliant, he made a save with his legs very early in the game, didn't he? And then later in the game, he made that wonderful header save, didn't he? That was headed towards him. He flipped it over the bar.
He makes lots of unorthodox saves. I like him.
He's quality. He's quality. We've got a gem now. We really do.
I'd say we've got a few gems, Adrian.
Sorry?
I'd say we've got a few gems.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. You know what? I fancy our midfield against any midfield in this Premier League. And we weren't really at our best at Arsenal, but we still, Basuma, he still had a 94 plus 0.7 accuracy pass rate or something. Maddison nearly gave away a goal in the first half on the edge of the box, didn't he? And yet, later on in the game, his assist for Son, he wins the ball against Jorginho, didn't he? It'll be exciting. It could be close. I fancy a 2-0 for us. We ain't going to spank them. These games are hard, but we'll see.
I said before you came on, Adrian, to me, the 12th man, if the Tottenham supporters get behind the team from the start, from the word go, and we start getting the place rocking. That like Liverpool get the 12th man when their crowd get behind them at Anfield. If we get that at the lane, I'm calling it the lane. If we get that at the stadium
you'll Saturday, have it because we're on a roll. You'll have it because we're building momentum. The atmosphere will be fantastic. I'm looking forward to
if the atmosphere and the cheering and the plugging for the team happens from minute one, Liverpool will struggle and it will pick up our boys, and I think then we can go through them. But I think the crowd have got an important part to play Saturday, is what I said earlier.
Have we heard anything more about James Maddison's potential knee injury? I looked and I didn't see anything in
Something was
regards to like
posted.
the scan.
Tottenham. What are they called? We Are Tottenham TV. They've done their half an hour blog, but I haven't watched it. I know that they've got
I
a
haven't
half an
watched
hour
it yet.
blog.
I've saved it for the site for the group, but I haven't watched it yet.
And they've got an update on Maddison there. I don't think
Okay,
Maddison was a problem. I don't think, but I've not seen it yet. I'm just going by the title.
So if Madison doesn't play, or if Madison can't play this weekend, that changes things a lot. Obviously, how would you guys feel about Højbjerg stepping into the starting 11 and Basuma stepping in as the 10?
No.
Right. So it says so their one today was done about 3 hours ago, and it says Vukovic signs, and then it says Maddison's confident he won't miss Liverpool. And then it says Johnson injury update, but that's the title of their thing that they've got.
Well, that's good.
I think Maddison will start. So will Son if they took them as a precaution. Obviously, he said there was Carrie Knox before the game. I mean, understandable fans think, why are you taking them off at that stage of the game? If any team was going to win it, I thought it was us. But at the end, they came at us a little bit stronger. But then Richarlison had that shot which deflected for the corner, didn't he? So it could have gone either way at the very end, funnily enough. But yeah.
Brennan Johnson had a tight hamstring, and Brennan Johnson was brought off before he actually done himself a big mischief.
So he might be rested, actually. He might be rested. You could look at Solomon. But if Maddison has to come off, I think you'll find Ange will do what he did before. Kulu will come into the centre. Kulu would come into the middle. But he might start with Richarlison if Brennan Johnson's injured. Right. I mean, he fooled me completely. I thought there was no way in hell that Brennan Johnson was going to start that game against Arsenal. I thought, which was my concern, which proved to be a point, I thought Richarlison might start on the left because he could come in the middle for corners and free kicks, and he'd give us that bit of tracking back, shithousery to help out. Because Brennan Johnson didn't help Udogie out. What happened that later in the game was like Mickey van der Ven, fair play to me, had a great game. He kept coming over the left to help him out, and so that worked out well in the end for us. So I'm still trying to get my head around Ange's system. I get the basis of it, but what I want to know is, does Ange is playing this more risk attacking style of football? Is he saying to the front three, we know that Kulu is the only one that holds the ball up, retention, and it'll be better for you defensively up there? Is he saying, I don't care. I don't want my front three to track back and just rely on them. Like, say, if you've got Udogie and Mickey van der Ven at the back, and then you might have one of the midfielders. So if we've got a problem, one of the midfielders that comes across, they form like a trio to stifle out damage. And we can say we do the opposite on the right-hand side with Porro and all that. And in that game, although Porro had a good game, that first cross that Saka put in, Porro was on the back post again. There was an Arsenal player behind him. It's a good job he didn't go to him. I don't know if you see that. If you watch the highlights, same thing again. So he has improved, Porro, and I've been critical of him. And so we'll see. But I've not heard Ange say anything about the front three not tracking back because Brennan Johnson didn't. There's a few fans that were
not at all
critical of Brennan Johnson. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, real quick, I want to shout out Shanada in the comments just because I've never seen them in the comments. I don't know if it's Shanada or Shanada. I apologize. But yeah, Brennan Johnson, like they said, hopefully we got him off before he is injured, and, just needs to be rested for a week or so because I've really liked what I've seen from him so far. And that kind of ties in with your question, Adrian. I will let you go. Jose, you were answering, and I very rudely interrupted you.
No, you didn't. Hello, Shanata. Welcome, by the way.
Yeah, welcome, mate.
I agree with what Adrian said. It's about knowing the system because he can go out with a 2-2-1-3-2-1, or he can go out with a 3, and then one of them goes. When I say 2-2, I'm talking about the two centre halves, and then in front of the two centre halves, you find the Doggy and Porro sometimes there, and then your midfielders are further up from there. Sometimes.
Oh, Jose, did we lose you? Adrian, I think we've lost him. Do I still have
Right.
you? Yep. So hold on. We'll take him out and he can come back in whenever he's back. I don't want to
Right.
leave him up there frozen.
Yeah. With the AIM system, though, when we get to know what is expected of all players in all positions, once it becomes instinctive to the team and they do it naturally, because he was saying like I want them to get to the stage where they do it without me having to say anything to them.
Right.
When we're going to be very fluid in cruise control then, and then there's a chance we will spank teams. We will batter them. I mean,
Yeah.
by the time AIM system's fully integrated into this squad and everyone knows what they're doing, then when we play Arsenal right at the end of the season at our place, we'll probably spank them. But we'll see how we'll see how they're going at that particular time.
Yeah, and like you were saying, he wants it to be automatic. I think that we can still see, or at least I can still see at times, the players reverting back to the way that they've played under Conte. It almost looks like at times we go more defensive. We do more passing around the back. We're not quite as incisive, and it's almost like we fall back on that when things aren't going our way or we're not sure what to do. And I think over time, that'll be trained out of these guys, and they won't fall back on that. But that's just what they're so used to doing. Yeah, I agree. We're going to see a lot more of Ange's system to come. And you guys, I didn't realize that I went past the hour already. I know that you guys just came in, but I have to go real quick. Shanana says, yeah, you got the pronunciation right. Awesome. Thank you. And thanks. Yeah, of course, for welcoming you. This said, thanks for welcoming me. Of course. Gotten into Tottenham because of Ange is a fellow Aussie. Oh my gosh. Nice. Hey, well, thank you so much for being here. We love Ange. We're taking good care of him here. Chris Peters says, welcome, Shanada. Very, very nice to have you here. And we just I hate that I have to kind of close things out now as you're getting here.
What time are you on tonight, Cole? Are you going on tonight?
I am going on tonight, but it might be fairly early, so it's going to be another show pretty soon. Jacob from United Spurs of America goes on today at around 4, so around 10 UK time.
Okay.
And then I'm going right after him, so probably about midnight UK time.
Okay. If I'm up tonight,
yeah,
I'll make a point of coming back.
Wonderful. So Shanada, that puts us roughly like 6 hours from now.
Yeah.
6-7 hours from now. So yeah, come be on the lookout. If you go to the page and you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell. See, I'm tricking you here, but hit the bell. Then you'll know when we go live, and you'll see us, and we'll be able to hang out again later today. But gentlemen, I have to run. But before that, I just wanted to say thank you guys very much for being here. I'm playing some nice music to kind of play us out. But thank you both. Adrian, tell everybody where to find you, sir.
They can find me on Twitter under my name here, and there's a link to my Spurs group on Facebook if people use Facebook and they're interested there, yeah. And you'll find a page on Facebook.
Awesome, blossom. And hey, and he's got a lot of followers there on that Facebook page, a lot of Spurs fans to interact with. If you want some more Spurs interaction in your life, head on over to Adrian's Facebook page. Jose, how's your YouTube page or your YouTube channel coming along?
I've been so busy with work. I've not had a chance to do anything at all, and I've been really, really busy for the last 2.5, nearly 3 weeks. Hence why Adrian said he's not seen me. So
right, I feel blessed to have you on my channel. Thank you for making time for me.
I actually went on. I think it was yesterday. I went on, Adrian. You were on with all the Gooners on one of the channels. It was a Tottenham Arsenal after the game type thing. And
was it Tottenham away, or was it?
It may well have been. Yeah, Mari was in there.
Yeah, he's good. I like Mari. Yeah.
Mari's good people. Yeah.
Stefan was there, the lunatic Arsenal fan.
Oh yeah. We was giving it to him. We roasted him. Yeah.
I know. I was watching it, and I think it was Monday. I was going to play football. So it's yesterday. I was going to play football yesterday evening, and I was hearing it as I was going to play football because it was in my pocket, the phone, so I could all add it as an audio, so I could hear it. So well done.
Hey, big up to both you guys. So Eltel Cockerell, you see down there, that's Jose's channel. He is working on it. He, like he's mentioned, doesn't have a lot of time at the moment, but he'll get back into it. And when he does, you better watch out. He's got a really cool
Chris.
Spanish perspective. What happened there? You said
I've just put the link into the chat.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, sir. Yes. Let me get that. Let me get that put up. The private chat or the regular chat?
No, the regular chat. I've just put it in there. Unless it hasn't
Wonderful,
come up.
wonderful. Perfect. Yeah, it'll come up in just a second. We'll give it a sec. Everything's a little bit delayed. But yeah, you guys, again, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been really nice hanging out and talking and you know, just I don't have very many real life people, you know, that I'm close to that I can talk to Spurs with. Or talk about Spurs with, talk to about Spurs. Words are hard.
You have
but
Adrian,
it's
Adrian
really
and
nice.
myself.
Exactly. That's all I
We're
need.
trying to
That's all I
boost your
need.
channel, Colin. We're trying to boost your channel.
I appreciate it. And while we're on the subject, everybody, if you're watching and you haven't already liked and subscribed, just go ahead and do it if you don't mind. If you're watching this on replay, go ahead and like and subscribe. Go back, watch those Keeper West Ham questions, throw your answers in the chat. I'd love to see them. I always love to see them. Gives me some feedback and helps me decide if I need to make them harder or not for the next one.
Come on,
and
people,
then
support Colin. He works hard. Support Colin.
Thank you guys. Last but not least, shameless, but I got to do it. Patreon.com/talkingball if you want to be a Patreon member. No pressure. But Wayne Bonner and Chris Peters are both in there, and they're in there like swimwear, helping me out. I appreciate it, you guys. So awesome. Let me see if that comment's come up. It hasn't yet, Jose, but it will. So if you watch it back on the replay, you'll be able to see that comment. I leave the live comments up, so that will show up. Do you have a link, Adrian, like close by that you could throw me that I could put up for your channel? Oh, cool. Tel Cockrell, it just came up right as I said.
I've done that on the StreamYard page. I did the other one on the YouTube and it hasn't come up, so I've just done it on the StreamYard again.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. Hey, youtube.com, you see it. Tel Cockrell plus all that other goodness afterwards. But please go and support this man. He supports me practically every day. And I really appreciate it, Jose. So everybody go show him some love. And once you start doing more shows on your channel, Jose, I'll be a guest. I'll be your first one.
You certainly will. No, I've had guests on before, but you can certainly bring on. I do the same as you, Colin. I welcome people on because it makes it easier. The flow's far easier when you have other people to share comments with.
I'm getting better going solo, but
go to subscribe to Football Made Simple on YouTube. Football Made Simple.
Okay.
Subscribe
to that, it out.
Right? Once you subscribe, there's loads of videos. They do good analysis on other teams' games apart from Spurs, all sorts of Football Made Simple. And then just click in a search box, the importance of Zone 14. It's only a 6 or 7 minute video. It's very good.
Everybody check it out. It's the homework. We will be talking about it on we'll be talking about it on our next show. So everybody go watch it. That's your homework, and we'll be dissecting that on the next episode. But everybody, with that, I think it's a good time to wrap up. Sorry, I got to do it kind of awkwardly, but thanks again, everybody, for being here. And as usual, come on, you Spurs.